What is going on, world? What's up, everyone? It's Zero here. Today I'm bringing you guys a brand new StarCraft 2 video. This one is between two players on the WCS Pro Circuit. Spawning here in the top left-hand corner of Backwater LE, playing with the red Zerg pieces. He's very well known in the StarCraft 2 Pro scene. With the Zerg pieces, his name is none other than Snute. And his opponent spawning in the cross position, playing with the blue Terran pieces. He's a very well-known Terran player on the WCS Pro Circuit as well. His name is SpeCial. So guys and girls, I'm extremely excited about this game and this series in particular between these two players. It should be a very exciting series, a best-of-5 series that was played at the WCS in Leipzig. And this was one of the quarterfinals of that tournament in particular. So, of course, if, you know, all these matches do matter in the grand scheme of things. But when you get to the quarterfinals, of course, if you win this best-of-5, you move on to the semifinals. And then you have a chance at making it all the way to the grand finals. And we all know, but if you don't know for some reason, if you do win one of the WCS stops, you actually get invited to BlizzCon, which of course is the biggest tournament of the year in StarCraft 2. So everything is kind of on the line here when you start getting further and further into these tournaments. And it's very, you know, it's an exciting time, and it's I think both these players are going to give us a really good show, to say the least. But it does look like both our players, starting off here, going for relatively standard builds. We have SpeCial who's going to be going for, of course, the barracks into the command center, the natural command center. And then on the opposite side of the map, a hatch gas pool opener is going to come out of Snute. So relatively standard on both sides of the map. Nothing too out of the ordinary, at least at the very early portions of the game. Looks like a factory is going to be the follow-up here, which is, of course, still very standard, to say the least, for SpeCial. And, you know, both these players, they really, generally speaking, I love the different styles of both of these players. SpeCial tends to, I love his draw play. I think he's one of the best in the world when it comes to the draw play with the Terran pieces. That said, Snute has kind of had a slower year, which, of course, a slower 2018. I'm anticipating that he is going to have a much better 2019 moving forward. SpeCial, you know, SpeCial has had a decent 2018. I think that even he is going to have, he very well could have a better year as well moving forward. And it looks like he is going to get at least one drone, a little bit of some micro here. Could definitely get another drone for SpeCial. Does not look like that's going to be the case. Nice micro with that drone. And it looks like this Reaper may not be able to live much longer, but he is going to at least try to get maybe a little bit more scouting information. But that was a nice little pickup there for SpeCial. It looks like out of the, of course, the spawning pool, we are going to see that Zergling speed upgrade coming out relatively early, which is the most standard upgrade for a Zerg player. It's going to be Metabolic Boost, is going to be finishing up in less than 5 seconds. Double Hellion production now from that factory being switched onto the reactor. So we are going to be seeing the double Hellion production, which is also really standard when we talk about the ZVT matchup. We talk that Hellions can, you know, be a significant pain in large numbers. We are going to see that starport is going to be up, and looks like there's going to be some Vikings that are going to be in production out of the starport. Now, very interestingly enough, we are going to see a fusion core. Now, this is really interesting play early on for SpeCial. A little bit out of the ordinary, but that said, I absolutely love it. We are going to see that third command center going down for SpeCial. On Backwater LE, that third base is very easy to take because there's no real ways into that base other than the one from the natural expansion or by flying your units over. So very well protected, generally speaking, is that third base. So both players are going to be on their third expansions, and it looks like the Roach Warren is going to be the follow-up for Snute. So now Snute is going to show exactly what he is planning on doing, at least, you know, as we approach that 5-minute mark. We are going to see Liberators coming out now from the starport. Very interesting decision making so far, but I actually really like this decision making by SpeCial right now. He's going, you know, into a pretty strong build actually against his opponent, who's going, you know, primarily with ground-based units with the roaches. So this should be interesting to see how this one plays out as we pass that 5-minute mark. I will say this, you know, that the factory is still producing more and more Hellions. These Hellions are can be a real nuisance at times. They really keep the Zerg player at bay, and they also can get a lot of scouting information. Now, roaches are very good against the Hellions. Looks like those Hellions are going to have to back off, at least at this point. Advanced Ballistics is going to be finishing up in less than 10 seconds. And it does look like now Cyclones are going to be coming out of that factory. So I like that decision making. It looks like we're going to be seeing the lair coming in now for SpeCial, and it looks like all of these roaches may very well go down here relatively soon. A couple of Ravagers are going to be coming in now for Snute, and it looks like he's going to get a little bit aggressive, and I like this decision a lot to get aggressive right here and right now, as that Liberator is in a great position, but he's going to have to end up moving. Does not want to get biled completely. We are going to see now more and more of these roaches are going to be taken out now that that Cyclone is out on the playing field. But that could have been a little bit of a scary push by our Zerg player. Nonetheless, we're going to see Glau Reconstitution coming in for Snute out of that Roach Warren. He's got the double evolution chamber, so he's going to probably move into you know, those +1/+1 upgrades here shortly. We do see that the lair is now finished, and he's going to follow this up with an infestation pit. So he's going to most likely go for a quick hive to upgrade to those, of course, those higher tier hive units. I like the decision by Snute. I really like how both these players are playing this as the game has kind of evolved as we pass that 7-minute mark. I do like how this is slowly but surely turning out. A lot of these Hellions are going to be moving across the map. Looks like they are going to try to roast some of those drones. I don't know if this is the best decision, though, by SpeCial. Really trying to get in there, but getting surrounded. Beautiful play by Snute. And this is definitely what Snute does very, very well. His defense is usually on point. Generally speaking, he's got a lot of queens out now on the playing field. That is very good, of course, for creep spread, but also, of course, for really spreading that spreading the creep as well as the defense, keeping a solid defense together. This Liberator is really causing some problems over at this third base for Snute, and SpeCial is doing what he does best. The drop play is what he does so well. We do see that Hydralisk Den out, and we also see now the timing on that hive is going to be coming in as well. So it looks like more and more siege tanks are going to be added to this mix for SpeCial, and there's just stuff happening all over the map at this point. And I really like I like the position currently for our Terran player. He's got that fourth command center going up, and he's got a nice defensive structure here going with some of those siege tanks, forcing that Zerg player back. And missile attacks level 1 as well as ground carapace level 1 are going to be finishing up now for Snute. So as far as the upgrade game is concerned, both these players are pretty close to one another. But I gotta say, as we're kind of looking at this Liberator is really in a great spot at this point, and is really, as I said, causing more and more problems for our Zerg player. Now, it does look like Snute is going to go ahead and get 2 more of his own bases, so he's going to be on 5 bases at this point. Muscular Augments is going to be finishing up now for our Zerg player, and that is the upgrade, of course, for the Hydralisks. So it's hard to say who's really in the lead. I feel that our Terran player is absolutely in the lead. If he can get the cancel on this 5th base location, that's going to be a nice pickup. Does not look like that's going to be the case, as Snute's defense is able to hold before that base does go down. But SpeCial's in a really good spot. He's expanding once again. He's going to be on his 5th base as well. And he's starting to just build this mech army that's starting to become kind of scary. He's got a lot of siege tanks now, and that's going to really You know, as long as he doesn't go too far on creep, he should be in a good spot. Now, the creep spread is starting to get out of hand, though. It's going past that you know, past halfway past the map. And that can be kind of scary. Now, we are going to see, of course, none other than the Spire is going to be coming in, and Vipers are being added onto this composition, and I like that decision a lot. There are, of course, the siege tanks are going to be sieging up, and this is going to be a dangerous position for our Zerg player to really move into. And as I'm saying, this looks like he is going to catch some more of those. He is going to catch more and more of those Hellions moving onto the map, and is able to pick those off. But it's really been a back and forth engagements through and through. It looks like right now, oh man, it looks like those siege tanks are going to get hit very, very quickly by those Vipers, and they're going to be able to just jump on top of it. Those blinding clouds were absolutely incredible, taking out essentially all of those siege tanks, and just like that, Snute has taken a lead, and it looks like he's going to start moving across the map. As we have passed that 11-minute mark, you do not want to overextend, though. Those vehicle weapons level 2 upgrades is going to be finishing up now for SpeCial, and I gotta say, you know, both players are kind of, you know, dealing equal amounts of damage to one another. One is taking out a base, the other's taking out pieces of an army, and that was some massive pickup there for Snute to kind of get back into this game after losing that base. Infernal Pre-Igniter is going to be finishing up in less than 10 seconds as well for SpeCial, so all these upgrades are going to be coming in, and now we got the Blue Flamed Hellions. This can become a significant problem, but we do see the Greater Spire that's going to be coming in shortly for our Zerg player. The question is there going to be enough here for Snute to hold on against this army, this powerful army that's coming in? And it looks like a slow push is going to be happening. Now Snute, the question is he going to try to kind of deal the surround against his opponent? These siege tanks are in a pretty good position. He's going to be going after this base. He's going pretty far onto creep, but there are a lot of siege tanks that are moving across the map. It looks like SpeCial is feeling very confident at this point. He wants to take out as many of these units as possible, and that slow push has begun for our Terran player. That vehicle plating level 2 is finishing up now as well. And once again, it looks like the question may remain, those blinding clouds are so critical for Snute right now. Snute is getting so much value out of those blinding clouds. The Viper switch for him has done absolute wonders for our Zerg player, keeping him in this game. And once again, it feels like SpeCial may have overextended a little bit once again. Wow, beautiful play here. Passing that 13-minute mark, we once again see a run by of more and more of these Hellions. Question is he overextending again, or is Snute just in the right positions? I think Snute is actually just being in the proper positions, and these Vipers are giving so much value to Snute. Snute is getting so much value out of those Vipers. Now, I gotta say, you know, SpeCial is certainly not out of this game just yet. He's made a couple of mistakes, but he's also taken out some bases, which is definitely buying himself some time. One thing that we do know about SpeCial is that, you know, he is not out of a match until it is 100% over, you know, because, I mean, really, you can say that about any match, but SpeCial is an absolute beast. You know, he tries to find any angle possible to try to get ahead, and once again, you know, frying some of those drones up at this 5th base has been absolutely crucial. Now, Ultralisks are on the production tab for Snute, and I like that decision a lot, but once again, another wave of siege tanks, and now we've got Vikings, which is a very, very good idea to have more and more Vikings for SpeCial, especially seeing as how, you know, Snute has no plans of stopping the Viper production. So here we go. These siege tanks once again are going to be in range, and it does look like the blinding clouds are going to be coming in once again on all of those siege tanks. And it looks like, just like that, the question though is all those Vipers do go down, and it looks like now the siege tanks are doing quite a bit of damage. There is an Ultralist that is out on the playing field now. all of those were taken out, as far as, you know, all the Vipers were taken out. But I gotta say, Snute is back in he's in a decent position. Nonetheless, I feel like he is definitely in an okay position as this army starts pushing forward. It does look as if possibly this might be an overextension if Snute decides to commit. He is going to head back home. Vehicle weapons level 3 is finishing up. Vehicle plating level 3 and the smart servos are upgrades that are all going to be finishing up now as we approach that 15.5-minute mark. Once again, SpeCial, though, is not giving up at any stretch, by any stretch of the imagination. Goes after that 5th base once again. He is trying to slowly but surely bleed his opponent dry. And I think that is that may become an issue for Snute moving forward, as we do see a lot of Ultralisks coming out, though. You know, there's 5 out on that on the playing field currently, and they are going to do a lot of damage if they are given the opportunity. The question remains, though, there's a lot of Liberators that are out on the playing field as well. So the question that I have is this going to be enough to take out SpeCial's army? As SpeCial has taken a lead, he is going to go ahead, and he's going to set up these zones for those Liberators. The Liberation zones are doing a lot of damage, but at the same time, I don't know if it's quite enough. These Ultralisks are coming after all of these units. They are doing some damage, but it does look like they are going to be shooed away. The siege tanks were able to find an angle, but those Liberation zones are absolutely creating wonders for SpeCial right now. He's going right after all these units once again. The question is Snute really just taking some critical losses? It looks like he is, as his production is absolutely plummeting at this point. I think what this is forcing is almost an all-in for Snute at this point in the game, as SpeCial is going to continue the slow push on to creep now. Can Snute hold on just a little bit longer to get all these Vipers out? I don't know if he can. The Liberation zones are up, and now with the siege tanks, they are sieging up. They are going to start doing crippling amounts of damage. GG is called, and SpeCial takes game number 1 of this best-of-5 series in a very hard-fought match between these two players. I hope you guys did enjoy this game between SpeCial and Snute, and if you guys did, leave a thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, stay positive, and as always, I will see you guys all in the next one. Peace.